On the news, Senate Information Committee engages agencies on 2025 budget proposals. National Assembly Joint Committee urges Presidential Economic Team to boost capital funding. Plus, correspondent explores the vital role of legislative caucuses in Nigeria's National Assembly. Good evening and welcome to Parliamentary News. I am Praise Nwachukwu. The Senate Committee on Information and National Orientation today engaged heads of agencies under the information sector on their budget performance in 2024 and proposals for 2025. Amongst those present at the session are the Director General of the Nigerian Television Authority, Salihu Abdulhamid Dembos, the Director General of Federal Radio Corporation of Nigeria, Mohammed Bulama, the DG, Voice of Nigeria, Baba Ndache, DG National Orientation Agency, Lanre Onilu, amongst others. And discussions centered on financial transactions such as releases, expenditure, revenue, and remittances. The chairman of the Senate Committee on Information, Ken Eze, explained that agencies must avail the committee with all required information, as that would help in ensuring provision of adequate funding for them to perform optimally and make desired impact. The National Assembly Joint Committee on Appropriations wants the Presidential Economic Team to take urgent measures towards ensuring release of more funds for capital projects for improved impact on citizens. This came up at a meeting to review the performance of the 2024 budget as both sides continue engagement on the 49.7 trillion naira 2025 budget proposal. In a statement, the Joint Committee observed that as contained in the report submitted by the Minister of Finance, Wale Edun, the overall performance of the 2024 budget stands at 43%, with recurrent achieving 100%, while capital was just 25%. The Minister of Budget, Atiku Bagudu, explained that the huge expenditure on recurrent was channeled to fight insecurity and boost agricultural production and other economic activities. The National Assembly urged government to release more money for capital projects, advocating that the ratio for recurrent and capital should be 60-40 as against the current 80-20%. Lagos State House of Assembly has approved 3.4 trillion naira as the state's 2025 appropriation bill at a plenary presided over by the Speaker Mudashiru Obasa in Lagos. Musa Toliat reports that the lawmakers also passed a bill on local government administration during the plenary.
The plenary was to expedite action and pass the 2025 appropriation bill so that the budgeted funds for the much-needed infrastructural development across the metropolis can be disbursed by the executive. Presentation of report by the chairman, Joint Committee on Appropriation and Finance, sets the tone for the third reading of the 2025 appropriation bill.
The report of the Joint Committee of Appropriation and Finance on the request for approval of supplementary budgets to the Appropriation Amendment Law 2024, I so laid. Reverend Speaker, sir, I also want to lay the report of the Joint Committee on Appropriation and Finance on Appropriation Bill 2025.
Although the governor presented a budget proposal of 3 trillion naira, the final passage of 3.4 trillion naira is informed by the need to address budget deficit financing, which stands at over 400 billion naira. Speaker, Lagos State House of Assembly, Mudashiru Obasa, thereafter subjected the bill to voice votes and its subsequent passage.
Sum of 203 billion, 459 million, 500,000 naira. The capital receipts and capital development from the matter stand as part of the schedule. Those in favor say aye. Aye. Those in favor aye. Aye. Those against nay, the ayes have it.
Meanwhile, having held two separate public hearings on local government autonomy in 2024 It was time for the chairman, Committee on Local Government Administration, to lay his committee report.
I have the real privilege and honor to lay before this august Parliament the report of the Committee on Local Government Administration, Security and Right Development on the bill for a law to provide for local government systems, establishment and administration, and to consolidate all laws on local government administration and for connected purposes. I so lay.
With this year's local government elections in view and in compliance with Supreme Court judgment on local government autonomy, a bill to consolidate all laws on local government administration in Lagos State scaled the third reading.
So, permission, Mr. Speaker, sir. We have moved that a bill for a law to provide for local government system, establishment, and administration, and to consolidate all laws of local government administration and for connected purposes be read for the third time. I so, sir.
It is a great privilege and honor to read for the third time a bill for a law to provide for local government system, establishment, and administration, and to consolidate all laws of local government administration and for connected purposes. I so read, sir.
The subsequent passage of the bill was imminent.
That a bill for a law to provide for local government system, establishment, and administration, and to consolidate all laws on local government administration and for connected purposes be passed into law. All in favor say aye. Those against nay, the ayes are.
The clerk of the House of Assembly was mandated to send clean copies of the bills to the governor for his assent. In Lagos, Musa Toliat, NTA News.
The Nasarawa State House of Assembly has been playing critical roles in the state's democratic development through quality legislation to address critical socio-economic challenges and improve public welfare. The year 2024 was not an exception, as the Assembly embarked on several transformative bills for good governance of the state. In this report, Adams Abdulkadri x-rays 2024 legislative session and its impact on the state's policy direction.
2024 was a busy legislative session for the Nasarawa state lawmakers, with loads of activities ranging from passage of impactful bills and breaking through resolutions.
There wasn't any response until after the expiration of the date that was slated for them to appear. He started making calls, and I felt there was no need for me to attend to any call. It was an official engagement. We should deal with ourselves officially.
Everybody that failed to appear with that cogent reason must appear before the whole of us.
Every agency or parastatal in Nasarawa State must do the right thing by the Constitution.
Notable among the resolution was a motion moved under the matter of public importance, observed by lawmaker representing Lafia Central, Solomon Yakubu Akwashiki, about the epileptic power supply by Abuja Electricity Distributing Company, AEDC, where Speaker summoned branch manager for questioning, which immediately changed the situation positively. Nasarawa State House of Assembly so far in the last 1 year has passed 13 bills, which one of it is private sponsor bill.
To make provision for the establishments of Nasarawa State Education Trust Fund and for other matters connected therewith, third reading and passed.
The Assembly demonstrated its commitment to addressing critical issues affecting the state by passing several impactful bills aimed at improving governance and public welfare. Among these was a bill to create Nasarawa State Agency for Fire and Rescue Services, which seeks to enhance the state's capacity to respond to emergencies and safeguard lives and property. Another major achievement under Jeto's leadership was the passage of a bill to establish a framework for the generation and distribution of electricity in the state.
With electricity, we can have opportunity to enjoy life. With electricity, we can have opportunity to get employment. With electricity, most especially, we always talk about issue of insecurity. We need 24-hour electricity.
They have failed Nigerians totally. They have failed Nasarawa State totally. Perhaps, as we are deliberating here, these hallowed chambers is being powered by our generating set.
This be, there is no how the agency would generate
power without putting that federal force into function. Mr. Speaker, the deposit of coal you have in OB is even exposed at Jongwa, is exposed like a mountain, more than enough to power whatever facility you might require. And Mr. Speaker, I don't want to look at this in the IGR getting more revenue. Electricity is expensive. We should not deceive people that when we have lights, it's not going to be cheap.
The House wasn't left behind in performing its statutory duty of oversight functions that led to the discovering of mining sites in different locations within the state. With these few achievements in the last year, Jatto has positioned Nasarawa State House of Assembly as a forward-thinking legislative body committed to enacting laws that directly address the needs of the populace. Adams Abdelkadri, NTA News.
We will now go on a short break. Parliamentary news continues.
Are you looking for a short channel to make your business, goods and services go viral? Look no further, as NTA Parliament is your short channel. Take advantage of our wider reach and advertise your products and services on NTA Parliament DSTV channel 370, GoTV channel 126, StarTimes channel 306, and Free TV channel 706. For more inquiries, contact the Marketing Department, NTA Parliament, NTA Headquarters Area 11 Garki Abuja, or call these numbers 080-383-40464 or 080-770-78055. NTA Parliament, strengthening Nigeria's democracy.
Thanks for staying tuned. Caucuses are vital to the functioning of the legislature, serving as platforms for political collaboration, policy formulation, and strategic planning. And in this special report, Ignatius Nkwo takes a look at the role of caucuses in Nigeria's National Assembly.
A parliament is more than a mere assembly of lawmakers. It is a stage upon which the destiny of the nation is performed. But behind the grand display of debate and resolutions lies a delicate network of alliances and shared convictions. That is, the parliamentary caucus. These caucuses are not defined by party lines alone. They draw together members from different political factions, regions, states, and genders bound by common causes and collective visions. In Nigeria's National Assembly, caucuses act as the vital organs through which the parliament draws its strength.
Caucuses are very, very important. They are part of the whole. I mean, you come from different ends. So many people, some have different opinions. Through caucuses, you converge those opinions.
Caucuses help to strengthen the unity among ourselves, and also to ensure that projects and programs that are meant for every state, one is not shortchanged.
From political party to regional and state caucuses and the Resolute Women's Caucus, these groups wield significant influence, steering legislative efforts towards their shared interest. The influence of caucuses is not unique to Nigeria. In other parts of the world, such as Canada, caucuses are not just informal gatherings, but recognized bodies funded by Parliament itself, with research offices and dedicated resources to shape policy.
And of course, ensuring that the well-being of our constituencies taken into cognizance in formulation of policies and legislative processes.
Beyond the formalities, caucuses play a deeper role within the Assembly, one that transcends the visible workings of Parliament. They are the silent force behind social control, the engine that escalates overlooked issues and calms stormy debates. When the Parliament at large is paralyzed by division, it is often the caucuses that offer a platform for members to air grievances and work through their conflicts, unburdened by the pressure of public scrutiny. Yet, their power is not without criticisms. Some believe caucuses, rather than unify the assembly, breed division. with members more loyal to their group's agenda than the broader national interest. But in this dynamic tension lies the opportunity for progress.
It builds a national aspect of it. They interact with NGOs and other civil society in terms of integration of ideas. So I believe that caucuses should be encouraged.
As the Nigerian National Assembly continues to evolve, it is clear that parliamentary caucuses could hold the key to driving its legislative agenda forward, balancing the forces of unity and dissent in the delicate web of representative government. Ignatius Nkwo, NTA News.
The Nigeria's Police Force National Cyber Crime Center has intensified its operations against cybercrime, apprehending several suspects involved in identity theft, business email compromise, and money laundering. Francis Form reports that the arrest highlights the growing threats of cybercrime and the innovative efforts of the police to combat it.
This is the second parade of suspects by the Nigeria Police Force. Among the suspects being paraded at the National Cybercrime Center is a suspected hacker who allegedly hacked the WhatsApp of 2 ministers and 3 senators.
Despite receiving all payments in naira, he takes his cut on the proceeds before transferring the rest to his clients.
Also, another suspect who specializes in hacking business emails to defraud companies and launder money internationally has been apprehended. Investigations by the center revealed that thousands of compromised email credentials were recovered from the suspect Skype account, which the syndicate used to coordinate its operations.
So he is, the one that is actually responsible for most of this WhatsApp hack.
And every offense committed leaves a trace in its forensic investigation. And that is what we do in the police now. We go scientific to get you. No torture, no harassment, nothing. You can see all these officers on suits.
And these 3 suspects were also arrested for unlawfully hacking a WhatsApp account to defraud their victims of 24 million naira. The suspects confessed to their roles in the crime, which involved impersonating the victim's business associate to solicit funds under false pretenses. Director of the Cybercrime Center assures that investigations are ongoing to recover the stolen funds. Francis Form, NTA News.
Meanwhile, the Speaker of the Cross River State House of Assembly, Elvert Ayambem, commenced legislative activities for the year with the appointment of Abang Samuel Neji as Chairman, Special Project, Corporate and Social Responsibility and Religious Matters. And the Speaker noted that the appointment is aimed at ensuring effective service delivery across various sectors. Udwak Etim reports that the announcement was made during plenary.
During the first plenary of the year 2025, Speaker of the Cross River State House of Assembly, Elvert Ayambem, announced the appointment of Abang Samuel Neji as the Chairman, Special Project, Corporate and Social Responsibility and Religious Matters to the House. He called on him to interface with relevant agencies and also work in synergy with other members of the committee to achieve success.
Honorable Samuel Neji will now be Chairman on Special Projects, Cross River State and Religious Matters. And then other members, the Vice Chairman and other members of the committee will be communicated to those involved appropriately by the clerk.
While assuring effective service delivery, the chairman highlighted the responsibility of the committee and what is expected of him. He, however, thanked the Speaker of the 10th Assembly for the opportunity.
I want to thank the Speaker for the appointment. I want to thank my other colleague for supporting and cooperating. And I'll be chairman of the committee and will work in synergy to make sure that we achieve and staff. So it's a new year message, good news for the new year. By the grace of God, I will chairman in that committee. I will look into all special projects of the state. I will oversight in that committee and also religious committee. In terms of people going for pilgrimage, it means the staff, we are lucky that somebody is there to represent. to make sure that also companies operating in the state plug in some percentage back of the profit to develop where they are operating.
Abang Samuel Neji is a member representing Ikom 1 constituency in the Cross River State House of Assembly. In Calabar, Uduak Etam, NTA News.
As governments around the world collaborate to mitigate climate change, Nigeria is not left out at the African Legislators Conference in Abidjan to prefer solutions. In this report, Isa Mohammed takes a look at the role of legislature in mitigating climate change in Nigeria.
No doubt, Nigeria in recent times suffered consequences of flooding resulting from rising sea level, overstretching of dams, and intensifying rainfall in some states, such as the recent flood disaster in Maiduguri, Borno State. The devastating effects of flooding in Maiduguri and its environs calls for urgent search for solutions by stakeholders. To mitigate future occurrence, relevant authorities and stakeholders have begun to come up with precautionary measures and solutions such as transition to renewable energy, implementing sustainable agricultural practice, protecting and restoring forests, encouraging tree planting, promoting energy efficiency, and implementing effective waste management.
Nobody needs to tell us whether it is from desertification that is racing down this way at a very high speed, or the drought, the drying up of Lake Chad, or how all these things have combined to contribute to insecurity through displacement, forced migration, and all that. These things are real and we are experiencing them. So all hands must be on deck to be able to accomplish this.
Another effort was the Abidjan Declaration by African Network of Parliamentarians on Climate Change, with the focus on strengthening the role of parliaments of national and international on climate change commitments in Africa. Nigerian representative to the Abidjan Declaration, Dr. Ahmed Adamu Saba, said the convention has provided a continental framework for a collective action and enhanced cooperation in addressing climates.
Recently, we have drought. Presently, flood that affect the common people. All these things are negative aspects of the climate change. When it comes, where do they run to? Who's going to give the support? And so also about the carbon emission. That is how to manage the carbon emission, how to invest, how investors will come and invest on carbon emission.
The focus is geared towards achieving environmentally sustainable and climate-resilient economies and communities in Africa and Nigeria. Stakeholders believe that by domesticating Abidjan Declaration with urgent need to work together to enhance sustainable environments, natural resources management, and commitments, flood risks and climate change threats will be reduced. In Abuja, Isa Muhammad, NTA News.
And that's where we call it wrap on the news. On behalf of the production crew, good evening.